Welcome to the ET197 Automation Studio Quick Start for Pneumatic Circuit Demonstration Part B, where we're going to modify our first circuit. Okay, we're back and we're going to do Part 4, changing technical properties and applying a load. So we need to open up our, go back to Home, open up our Library Explorer, and we're going to add another 3-2 wave valve. And we're going to try looking for a mechanically operated valve, and I don't see anything, so we're just going to have to modify an existing one. And that looks good right there, so let's go ahead and open them up. Let's get rid of that, and that's good. So let's go double click on this one, and it looks like we're going to use a mechanical, here we go, roller. That looks correct, and click it, and it wants us to copy it. Let's right click, copy, paste. Good. Okay, let's close out of our Library Explorer, and let's right click this guy, and we're going to transformation, and we're going to rotate him left, and we're going to rotate this other guy right. Good. So one's going on the top and one's going on the bottom. So let's move this drawing down and let's move the whole works. Okay, that looks like enough space. So what we're going to do, this valve here, oops, click out of that. So let's go. And this guy is going to go when we first start. And this guy is going to go when we finish up. So we'll have to do some work here in order to get that to happen, but that's good for now. Okay, let's change our cylinder to extend it so we can adjust the position of the second valve. So let's double click on it. And we're going to go to extension, and we want 100%. And good. So let's see if we have to do anything else. I think that's fine. And it's out. So let's move our valve over where our triangles connect. Good. Okay, the lab wants us to change the orifice diameter of our pressure. So let's go ahead and double click on this guy. And we're going to technical characteristics, and we're going to change this guy to 0.6 millimeters. So 0.6, and we're going to change inches to millimeters, and close out of there, and that should be good. Okay, the lab wants us to modify our 5-way valve. So we're going to double click on it, open up our, and go right to builders. Good. And we're going to get rid of our manual push button, and we're going to double click on our solenoid, and we're going to go down most of the way and look for external pneumatic pilot. Good. And we're going to check that. Let's go back. Good. And they want us to replace the spring return on the other side. So let's double click on that, go down, and we're going to grab an external pneumatic pilot. Check. And that's good. They want us to input the right number of exhaust and pressure. So how about we just copy and paste these? And we need one over here, and we need one up here, And we need a pressure one on the very top. Good. So that looks good for right now. Okay, so let's reorient our new components, and unfortunately they're in backwards. So let's click, right click, and go to transformation, and we're going to do a vertical flip and realign our triangle. And this one we're going to do transformation, vertical flip, and we'll have to open him back up, and we're going to go to extension 0. And realign our, good. And this guy's need to do a rotate, transformation rotate. Let's rotate him left, and that's good. And this one's going to be a rotate right. And we're going to need another pilot down here, looks like. And let's rotate him left. And he's going into the lower one. And our exhaust is going to the other output. Good. And our pressure, let's go ahead and rotate him right. And he's going into there, and our exhaust is coming out here. Good, that's good for now. Okay, so we're going to do our pilot line. So let's just go to link, and we're going to connect this pilot to this valve here, and this output here all the way to our pilot down here on the bottom. Good. I think that's, yep, that's it. So let's right click on here and line functions, and we're going to go to pilot. And it should turn dotted. So right click, line functions, pilot. And that looks good. Let's add some measuring tools here. So let's go back to our Library Explorer. And we're going to go back to our Pneumatic and down to measuring instruments, and we need 2 pressure gauges. And we need a flow meter. Good, and we could close out of this. And our pressure gauges are going to go on both sides of our cylinder here. And we could go back to our link tool, and let's link them up. Good. And let's go ahead and put our flow meter in. And this should be able to slide right in here. And it's a little bit off. Let's see if we can move this down. Yep, there we go. It looks like we're done with our schematics, so let's go to Zoom, Components, and let's go to Simulation, and let's try it out. And amazingly, it's working. And I think we can make this go slip by slow motion. Good, there we go. And I'll attempt to explain it here in a minute. Here I'm showing our cylinder in the fully retracted position, which opens this valve or pushes it up, and we're getting pressure back to this pilot, which pushes our valve over, and we're getting pressure up through it, and we're getting pressure against this side of the piston, which is pushing it all the way back. Okay, right now we see full pressure and zero pressure on this side, and all this has been pushed out through our exhaust valve. Here I'm showing our diagram with our cylinder mid-position and extending. So what's happening here is this thing is still up, and we have pressure which is going to this pilot, which is pushing the valve over, and we're getting pressure to this side of the cylinder. And this side is exhausted, and we're pushing the cylinder outward. Here we're showing where we're approaching to the end of our cylinder travel. We still have pressure on here. We have 0 psi and it's exhausting right now, and we're getting very close to hitting this valve right here. Now our plunger has elevated since the rod's out of the way, and now we have pressure to this pilot, which is going to push our valve over this way, and now we have pressure to the front side of the cylinder, and we're pushing the piston back. And this is a higher pressure than this, so our cylinder is going to move back this way, and we switch back again.